And just like that, the big three were back together.
Hello there.
Well, welcome back, Andrew. Welcome back.
Hi, guys. Missed you.
We missed you too.
You need to get your aim sorted.
Hey, I am Stormtrooper Employee of the Month, I'll have you know.
Yeah.
Let's go over to the comments. Nice to have Six back with us after joining us for the first time with Ruin Johnson last week. So cheers for coming back. Just a little note as well that from Stream Elements to let people know that we're also broadcasting over on Twitch if you're a gamer and into that sort of thing. Also, Brian. Hi, mate.
Hi, Brian.
Welcome
Hey,
back.
up.
Welcome back. Good to see you. So
Nice
yeah,
to see.
nice to see you. We're gonna do some of that.
Yeah. Good game.
Thought you were doing Savile for a second there. I was like, no, you can't do that anymore.
No.
You can't do that anymore.
What's that meme with Jack Nicholson?
Yeah. So we're back for a bit of a news show, folks. We've not caught up on the news for a while. Obviously, we've had some great guests. We've got some other great guests coming up. So that's going to be happening in the next few weeks, also. But we thought we'd just hang out and have a bit of a chat. We might do an hour, might do 4. You know, we might do 15 minutes. You never know. You never know. Let's see how much news there is to get through. Over to Six. I just bought a PS4 and a bunch of Star Wars games, but I'm not a gamer yet. Fair play.
Wow. Yeah, there's some good Star Wars games out there. I'm more of an Xbox man myself, but you know.
Well,
I'm an Xbox guy as well.
Before we do that, I'll just do this, and then the lads can probably walk you through some of the Star Wars games. Or you tell us, Six.
Feel your anger. Jedi scum. Sorrow belongs to me. I will show you the dark side.
That armor, that mask.
Just any excuse to play that stinker.
They did spend
Play
a
again
while.
one more time.
Andy spent about 14 months of making that, I think.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's actually painful to watch.
Do you want to see?
I can see all the outline of the rotoscope and the lightsabers, and I'm like, that's hours I'm not getting back. But it's nice to know it. It's nice to know it still gets used.
From my point of view, it's beautiful.
It's bloody fantastic.
Cheers, man.
There you go. That was awesome. So what games have we got on PS4 for Star Wars?
Well, the big one is, I think the biggest one is probably Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2, yeah.
Because it's on PlayStation. Yeah.
For PlayStation players, recently they managed to get their hands on Republic Commando.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Which it's been on the Xbox for a while. It's an older game which had a re-release and an update. I think it's had an update. It would have done. Sort of first-person team, single player. I think it's multiplayer too, isn't it? I'm not sure about that.
I only played it a few times. I don't remember it being
I've played it. Playing it at the moment, actually. Not all the way through it, but no, it's very good. It's very good. It's old school.
One of them? It's been upgraded, hasn't it, to full 1080p graphics? Is that right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out before Revenge of the Sith, didn't it?
Yeah.
Or was it post Revenge of the Sith? No, I think it was before.
I think it was before. I remember it was on PC, and I really wanted to play it back then, but I never had a PC back then.
I think it was on the original Xbox as well, wasn't it? Way before the 360.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's out for the Switch as well now.
Cool.
So yeah, it's everywhere. You can whatever you've got.
I haven't played with a Switch yet.
No,
and yeah, they're good. I did have one. Not anymore.
Back to the comments. That's just a bit on gaming as well here. Carl, how you doing, Carl? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Carl.
I'm Xbox 2. Just started watching Star Wars Saga in order, loving it. I did watch all the originals years and years ago, but giving it going order. Good man. That's the way to do it. Love the channels, guys. Thanks very much.
Thank you
Carl.
very much.
Good to see you. And 6, I bought Squadrons, Battlefront, and Jedi Fallen Order.
Jedi Fallen Order is good. I do like that one. Yeah, Squadrons. wasn't what I was expecting, but you know, it's enjoyable for what it is.
Squadrons. They dropped it on the Xbox a few weekends ago just for freebie. Played it.
Is that an old one then?
No.
No.
It's the latest of them three.
It's not even a year old yet, I don't think.
Is that the one that you?
Yeah.
That you refunded, Matt?
Yeah. I was a little bit. Thing is, I enjoy the older Rogue Squadron games, which were like out on the Nintendos and all that. But it's my age, I guess. And this was. It was first person, like cockpit view. You couldn't do anything else. You know, it was completely different to those games. And I suppose I was expecting the older style Rogue Squadron games, and I suppose that's why I was a bit disappointed. But it is now on Game Pass on the Xbox, which I'm a member of. So I can pick it up anytime now and play it, which I have done. And when you're playing something for free, basically, you enjoy it a bit more, don't you? I suppose.
I know, but even though it was free, I still didn't feel like I was getting my money's worth. I think Matt's being polite.
I
think it was pretty awful.
Diplomatic.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty awful.
Yeah.
I think the music's great. It's Gordy Harb scored it, and it's just classics. Star Wars music, but the game, I was just very bored very quickly. Like Matt, I was a huge fan of Rogue Squadron and the N64. It's one of the best games ever made for me.
And the GameCube, yeah.
And when I saw the trailer, I was like, I couldn't wait, and it's just not for me. Very disappointing. I just love Battlefront 2, so that I
actually prefer. I do prefer the Battlefront 2 flying games.
Fighter Squadron, isn't it?
6, you might enjoy it, and if you do, let us know.
Well, we have got some.
It's got a lot of fans out there, that game. So
yeah, absolutely.
Well, we do have some contradictory comments here. So, well, first of all, Colin was on to say that's cool. Where was Jar Jar, you bastards? I assume you meant in Andy's little trailer thing.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
Andy's all about the cool characters.
I don't know if you know this. I can't say too much, but Jar Jar was planned to be a hero in Battlefront 2.
Oh, really?
Oh, man. It should have been. I like Jar Jar. Unpopular opinion.
Fair enough. I don't care how many of your 50p's you've saved up. Just take your pocket money and get out! Anyway.
It was 18 months ago, Paddy.
It still hurts, Bilbo. So anyway, 6. I've been loving Squadrons, but I'm going to be pissed if Poe shows up.
Oh well, yeah. No, I can understand that.
I think it's too far back for that, isn't it?
Is it? What's the time period?
It's the original trilogy. It's after Return of the Jedi.
It's just after Jedi, isn't it?
Yeah, so I doubt Poe will be a child at that point. So
yeah,
I doubt he's going to show up.
Well,
I'm glad I am glad you're enjoying the game. So
he might be in like
he might not even be born yet at this period of time, because I think in the comics wasn't he conceived on Endor during the celebrations.
That's when you do it.
That's when you do it. He might turn up in a T-16. You never know.
With a load of Ewoks staring at you.
Ewoks, turn around, Ewoks.
Join in, boys. He might be a furry. You never know.
This needs to stop now.
Oh man.
No. Just a little joke. Just a little joke.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
Go back to gaming. Colin says just downloaded the classic Star Wars pod racer for PS4.
Oh, yeah.
Still holds.
It does.
Up.
Yeah, I've been playing that too.
Oh, so they brought the classic game back out.
Oh,
yeah,
it's so good.
You're a big fan of that, Andy.
Do you remember that in the Trafford Centre, Paddy, in the arcade, they had the real one you sat in, Anakin's pod, and you played it? Did you ever play it, Matt, the arcade version?
No, I don't think I ever played that.
It was £1 a go, and because I'm so bad at games, it cost me a lot of money to just get through one race.
Yeah. I used to work in a video game shop, and when it came out, I played it a lot while I was working in that shop.
Funny you should mention that, Andy, because Carl was on to say just before that. He said, "Did you guys play the Pod Racer arcade game?" So
yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, Andy, I don't remember playing that. Maybe I did, but
what happened?
I would come around, Paddy.
Yes, I drank a lot since then.
Do you remember the Star Wars trilogy arcade where you went through the original trilogy?
Yes, I do remember.
And you
that,
you fight Boba Fett as Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader as Luke Skywalker and Battle of Yavin, Hoth and Endor. That one, they moved all of them out and brought the pod racer one in. So I was really upset because I'd never finished the original trilogy arcade.
I don't think I ever finished an arcade game in an arcade.
No, it cost too much money. Because each of them were like £1 a go. However, I remember
the Temple of Doom arcade game. That was one of my favorites.
I never saw an Indiana Jones one. Yeah,
Temple of Doom platform game. That was good fun. Sorry, go on.
It's all right. Yeah, so when they moved out the arcade, the original trilogy, I was really disappointed, but I loved the Phantom Menace pod racing so much. I was over it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Six was on. Sorry, just one sec. Matt.
Yeah.
6 was on to say I'm going to look for that one, Colin. Also, that another Jar Jar fan.
Yeah, excellent stuff.
Thank God. I played the arcade game at one of the first celebrations. So you went to Celebration. Lovely. Did you go to Celebration too? I believe that was a belter. Sorry, go on, Matt.
No, I was going to say, when it comes to Star Wars games, I even picked up a second-hand Nintendo DS recently. With, I don't know if you can see this on the camera.
Oh yeah, okay.
Star Wars Lethal Alliance.
I never played that.
No, I'd never heard of it before. So I picked that one off of £3 off eBay.
That's a better title. That's a better title than Rise of Skywalker.
Lethal Alliance. It's good. I mean, it's not a bad game, and female heroine, if you like, and a really good character.
Is it a Twi'lek? I just saw.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I mean, Lucasfilm did better characters all the way through until. Anyway, we won't get onto that.
Paddy, what's that thing you just mentioned? The Rise of what?
The Rise of Skywalker.
What's that?
So
I've never heard of it.
We're gonna call it.
Can we just move on?
Yeah, Troz. I should have said Troz.
Troz, mate.
Or Droz.
Anyway,
I went to the first 3 celebrations. Wow. Excellent.
Wow, I've never been to a celebration.
As we move forward, I went to Celebration 2016, wasn't it? Europe.
Yes.
When did Celebration start? When was the first one?
Just before Revenge of the Sith.
Right.
Yeah.
They started after I moved to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Basically, so never had an opportunity. So yeah, we don't really get much in New Zealand when it comes to.
Well, 6. I'd be interested to know if you're an autograph hunter or if you got any like photo shoots or met any of the actors at the celebrations, because obviously the earlier the celebration, the more access there was too. So I'd be interested to know who you may have met at one of those.
I've got it wrong, guys. Sorry, Paddy. Go on.
Was it late 90s? First one.
Yeah, you're right. Just before the Phantom Menace. Literally,
Right,
Phantom Menace was about to be released. Yeah,
Was
it was in Colorado.
There you go. Colorado Springs. So let's move forward with a bit of it's been a while. Let's go on to a bit of Star Wars news as you're thinking about that, Six and chaps. Here we go. Alrighty then. So first of all, let's start off with a bit of kind of good news, I guess. This is taken from, I'm just going to share screen 1 minute. Then you can have a look along with it if you want to have a look, folks. Yes, so this is taken from InsideTheMagic.net, and this is a good bit of news. I think again, there may have been some bowing to pressure from fans, because I know this has been a bugbear for people for quite a long time, but Disney finally settling controversy with iconic Star Wars writer. There are 2 kinds of Star Wars fans: those who have seen the Skywalker saga, and those who have watched every single Star Wars movie, seen every single Star Wars animated series, and read every scrap of Star Wars novelization in existence. If you fall into the latter category, there's little doubt that you're familiar with Star Wars writer Alan Dean Foster and his ongoing controversy with Walt Disney Company. Last November, Foster published a letter via Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers of America. MYFBWY, it read, in part, when you Disney purchased Lucasfilm, you acquired the rights to some books I wrote. Star Wars, the novelization of the very first film. Splinter of the Mind's Eye, the first sequel novel. You owe me royalties on these books. You stopped paying them. When you purchased 20th Century Fox, now 20th Century Studios, you eventually acquired the rights to other books I had written, the novelizations of Alien, Aliens, and Alien 3. You've never paid royalties on any of those, or even issued royalty statements for them. Foster also wrote several Star Trek novels that are not under the Walt Disney Company banner. Give it time, and therefore are not part of this royalty issue. The original letter continued. You continue to ignore requests from my agents. You continue to ignore queries from SFWA, the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers of America. You continue to ignore my legal representations. I know this is what gargantuan corporations often do, ignore requests and injuries, hoping the petitioner will simply go away or possibly die. But I'm still here, and I'm still entitled to what you owe me, including not to be ignored just because I am only one lone writer. How many other writers and artists are there out there are you similarly ignoring? My wife has serious medical issues. In 2016, I was diagnosed with an advanced form of cancer. We could use the money, not charity, just what I'm owed. I've always loved Disney, the films, the parks, growing up with Disneyland TV show. I don't think that Unka, Walt, would approve of how you are currently treating me. But maybe someone in the right position just hasn't received the word, though after all these months of ignoring request queries, that's hard to countenance. Or as a guy named Bob Iger said, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. Now it seems that the situation may be coming to an end. The Science Fiction Writers of America, along with Foster's own legal team, have seemingly come close to reaching a settlement that will end the Star Wars royalty controversy once and for all. On April 1st, Foster shared on his personal blog, the irritating embargo with Disney, which you may have read about, is moving rapidly towards a mutually agreeable conclusion. A formal statement will be forthcoming. He wrote the novelization for, we've covered all that. Force Awakens 2015, of course, was Disney's first Star Wars movie and launched the sequel trilogy. And that's all information we know. So, that's good news. Splinter of the Mind's Eye. It looks to me like Random House Publishing. Looks to me that as Disney must have reprinted it, have they?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah. Right. And I think they're doing a lot of other re-releases too, aren't they, for the 50th anniversary?
It's a great book.
I've never read that one. Never read that one.
Basically, the Force is like it's a bit like Indiana Jones. It goes a bit Holy Grail. There's I don't want to say too much. I don't spoil it for people. I probably already have. But it's not what the Force kind of ended up being later on. So Splinter of the Mind's Eye was the first book, I believe, after Star Wars, before Empire Strikes Back came out. So that's the only lore extra on top of the film that people had, and it's a great book.
I've got I think I've got the original pressing on the shelves there back at Mum and Dad's. So just stripping back over to the comments. Can't pay £6 for the Pod Racer. That was a bargain. The weekend before all of the TPM toys were released is when Celebration 1 was. All of the hardcore fans were on plays going home, unable to access the toy stores.
Oh, no.
I met Jake Lloyd, Ray Park, Anthony Daniels, Mick Cullen. Ahmed Best. Nice one.
Nice one. Ahmed Best.
Spoiler on a 40-year-old book.
Yeah.
That's how,
people have got
so kind Andy is.
Well, there's that, but people are very sensitive on spoilers now. Do you remember the?
Yeah, and there are a lot of fans who probably do want to read it and
so
haven't got a chance yet. I mean, I've never read it.
It's probably it's probably new to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Remember the Radio Times where you could literally just read what was going to happen in all the soaps during that week. It's like why do you want to watch it now? You spoiled it for yourself.
Yeah. That'll do me.
Yeah. There you go. Exactly.
I only watch Emmerdale so I can get a bit of fresh air.
Right.
Yeah. Just take it out on a park bench and read about what you're missing on TV. Why not? Right. Let's move along.
So anyway, good news about Alan Dean Foster before we move off that.
Go on. Go.
A long time coming, eh?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And
You
I
know.
don't
Not a
know.
good look on Disney, is it? If they're going to treat somebody like that.
No, they've settled it with him. Like, it would be nice for them to ask him to write something else. I think.
Yeah.
If
Definitely.
if Splinter of the Mind's Eye is is a well-loved novel, which I know it is, and obviously he worked on novelizations, but that wasn't a novelization. I mean, was it based on a little treatment that Lucas has, or did Dean Foster just come up with it himself? I think he did.
Good question. I'm not sure. Because it was before Empire, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on a minute.
What Empire could have been?
I'm not sure what it was. I mean, Luke and Leia are much more. They're on the front cover, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to talk. I don't really want to say in case I'm ruining it for people.
But what I would say is Lucasfilm desperately needs new authors.
Right.
Yeah. Well, this is it. It looks like he did.
If you know what I mean.
It looks like he did write it. Because it says he'd previously ghostwritten Star Wars from the Adventures of Luke Skywalker, the novelization.
All right. Yeah.
So he's obviously knows his Star Wars. Yeah, they should do that. Oh, hang on. The plot of Splinter of the Mind's Eye revolves around the Kyber Crystal, a shiny red Kyber Crystal.
Okay. I think there's probably a lot in there that wouldn't fit with current canon. So
of course, because it's technically Legends now, isn't it? So, hang on. It says the plot of the Splinter of the Mind's Eye revolves around the Kyber Crystal, a shiny red gem that basically amplifies the Force. Now they are Kyber crystals, and it was spelt differently. It was Kyber Crystal, not Kyber.
Right.
And they are what powers lightsabers and also what powers the Death Star and Starkiller Base. But I digress. Luke and Leia, whilst heading for a planet that they want to recruit for the Rebel Alliance, crash land one rock over on Nimban. It turns out that the Empire is using the planet to mine Dolovite. This is a retcon within the EU itself. The actual material is never identified in the book. Luke and Leia meet a Force-sensitive older woman named Hala who volunteers to take them to the crystal, but Vader gets alerted to their presence and starts tracking them down. It's a race to the crystal. Battles ensue with the native population of Mimban and the Imperials. Luke and Vader showdown, and Luke gets the Kyber prize. He and Leia and Hala ride off into the foggy sunset. Certain facts surrounding the creation of this potential sequel make sense of incongruities. Harrison Ford had not been signed on for any more movies when the book was written, hence his and Chewie's absence from the book and downplaying of their importance. Interesting. Though Lucas has claimed many times that he had the original Star Wars trilogy all plotted out, it's fairly clear this is not true regarding Luke and Leia's sibling status. As a result, there is an obvious romantic subplot between the two, leading to all sorts of strangeness. It is possible that this is the reason for the implied interaction that surfaces in Empire Strikes Back.
Sorry, I should have said something. I'm just reading Brian's comments in the chat. If you want to have a last two comments.
Is this because we've gone into spoilers now? Hang on. I'm halfway through Splinter of the Mind's Eye. Have been since 2004.
No spoilers.
Cheers, Paddy. I want you to read the second half now. Yeah, no problem. There you go. Fair game.
You know that George disputes people saying that, about Luke and Leia. He said Luke and Leia were twins and they were the daughter of Anakin Starkiller straight away. But before that, it was, I don't even know this about Star Wars, there was two fathers at the beginning of the story. There was Anakin Starkiller and Dark Starkiller. Basically.
Right.
But then Lucas thought it'd be more interesting if they were the same character. So there were going to be two fathers, Luke and Leia, different fathers, but then he combined them. So, and he said he decided that before Star Wars came out. So he disputes that it wasn't all the way till Return of the Jedi when you find out Luke and Leia are brother and sister. George said he had that before the first film came out, but people argue with him about this and dispute it.
Yeah.
They've said, a lot of people say, it was, the I Am Your Father. Look, even Mark Hamill said, I think he was like, wait a minute, is he trying to top the I am your father line?
Yeah.
Because the Luke and Leia reveal was nowhere near as shocking as I am your father, was it?
No.
Again,
No.
again, spoilers if you haven't seen this movie called The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, sorry about the spoilers. Here's a very good question, Carl. Paddy, if you could make a Star Wars craft beer, what would it taste like and what would you call it? Do you know, I tasted a craft beer and I forget the name of the brewery, but it was called Fastest Hunk of Junk in the Galaxy, and it was a dipper, and it was pretty good. So,
well, there is actually Star Wars craft beer out there, isn't there?
well, technically, yeah. There's Stormtrooper beer. There is Stormtrooper beer.
Oh, they're bringing out more and more types as well all the time.
They are. Did I ever do
Space craft beer?
I don't think I've ever done this story on here though, ever. About the Stormtrooper beer.
No, I don't think so.
And it's funny because it's funny because
Disney can't touch them, right?
Yeah, you semi-alerted me to this. So, and Carl, R.I.P., who I did the events with, he told me about the actual legal case initially. So basically what happened was there's a guy, I think it's called Shepperton Studios or something like that. Not the actual Shepperton Studios, but Shepperton Design Studios, I think it's called. So basically this guy was one of the original, not the sculptor, but like he had something to do with the Stormtrooper, the original Stormtrooper costume. And I had the molds for it. So for, 20, 25 years, he was making, before the cosplay thing became a huge thing and people at RS were doing it afterwards and stuff like that. He was making original Stormtrooper armor for fans. It was one of the few places you could get it, all based on the original molds. Now, sometime not so long after the Disney takeover, basically he got one of those off Disney going, you can't do this. This is our intellectual property and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, well, I worked on it originally and these are my molds. Nobody else kept them. And, I'm not passing it off as the other ones. It's just the A New Hope one that I worked on. I'm not creating symmetrical ones like the new ones or, it all went into a bigger argument and he took them to court. And what never happens in these cases is that he actually won. Wow. So he won the rights to Stormtrooper as the costume. Now, if you know anything about the costumes, and I'm sure Colin, who was on the other week, could confirm these kind of things to it, and indeed is in the comments, that the original A New Hope Stormtrooper costume it's not technically symmetrical. It's got a little bit of, the head's a little bit misshapen and, so he retains the rights to Stormtrooper costume, right? Now, what alerted me to the possibility of doing stuff with that was you, Mark, got me like a couple of years ago. This is the guy. Andrew Ainsworth. Thank you, Colin. Nice one. I know I've gone off a tangent as well here, Carl, but I was just it's quite pertinent. So you bought me this little Bluetooth Stormtrooper helmet speaker.
Yeah.
You've got one there. One of them. Yeah. That's it. You got me one of them. And it came in this little box. And I remember you giving me, I was like, oh, that's cool. Nice one. Cheers, mate. And then kind of, gone home and stuff. And then like later on when I got home, I looked at it and I was like, hang on a minute. It's not got copyright Disney, copyright Lucasfilm. It's not got Star Wars written on it anywhere.
Which I didn't notice at first, but yeah.
I was like, that's weird. And then I looked at it, it was like Shepperton Design Studios. I was like, so not only has he won the rights to use Stormtrooper for the outfits, for the costumes and stuff, he can obviously license Stormtrooper to other people.
That's mad.
So therefore, when this Stormtrooper beer came out, I was like, first of all, there's no way Disney has signed off on that. And then I was like, hang on a minute. So it turns out Vocation Brewery in is it Sober Bridge, Hebden Bridge? They obviously knew about this loophole and have contacted the guy and said, we'll make Stormtrooper beer. We can just get permission off him,
Mm.
and bum bum bum. So we have official, technically,
Yeah,
Stormtrooper beer.
And they can't ship to the US, and I'm wondering whether that's licensing.
Well,
you know.
technically, what that is I know from our point of view that really you can't ship beer abroad unless they would like Vocation, who make the Stormtrooper beer, would have to sign some big deal with some other company in the States to
Disney.
Yeah. No, I mean like a brewery
No,
or a huge wholesale supplier to ship it in bulk. So probably at this point, they're probably selling enough units within the UK or maybe Europe to just, to do well with it. But once you start shipping it abroad, and particularly with craft beer and the markup and stuff, then it's probably not worth our while, because I know, you see that in the comments all the time. Can I get this in the States? Like, I'd love to have this beer, and which of course, I appreciate, but I don't think it's going to happen. So so coming back to huge tangent back, coming back to the original statement, Carl. I think I have to think about the name. I mean, maybe I don't know. I've asked this Hunker Junk in the Galaxy is kind of cool, but that's been used. It would probably be a dipper.
The Kessel Run?
Maybe. I feel like it would be a Han Solo line, or.
Do you remember in Attack of the Clones when they visit Dexter Jettster's diner and the droid comes out and goes, "Do you want a cup of Jawa juice?" What the fuck is Jawa juice?
I know. Well, it's got to be like shit. It's got to be like shit space coffee, right?
Ground Jawa.
Ground Jawa. Ground Jawa. So it could be, yeah. Carl's saying that the Stormtrooper beer is in B&M as well. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good to know. Yeah, because they've started out just in bottles, but it's in cans and stuff now.
Yeah, and you can get all sorts on the website. They're doing all sorts.
Glasses and stuff.
Yeah.
I got one with the
stouts.
Oh, stouts. Interesting. Yeah. But they do make pretty good stouts, Vocation, anyway, so that would make sense. But on the
Stormtrooper helmet, the one for a better word, tusks on the side. There's like these little lines, isn't there? On A New Hope, they were stick-ons, but in Rogue One, they're actually etched in, aren't they?
Yeah. They look better on the Black Series helmet. They actually did the grooves, didn't they? They kind of look.
They did a Rogue One version.
Yeah.
But I mean, in A New Hope, there's even a scene where they forgot to put the stickers on one of the helmets. What the Stormtrooper who shoots Princess Leia with the blue circles, stuns her. If you look at his helmet, they're missing.
Did not. I missed
really?
that. Wow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, check it out.
Learn something new every day. So coming back to Colin, original Stormtrooper. The merch is quite nice, but the costumes are wildly inaccurate. But am I completely wrong in saying that he did work on them though? Like, why? What's happened to go from him like having original molds and stuff to like being wildly inaccurate? I'd be interested to know that, Colin.
Inaccurate compared to what they are now, or are the ones now inaccurate to the original?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm not. I need some clarification on that, sir. So, obviously, having spoken a little bit about Legends in Splinter of the Mind's Eye, and Star Wars beer, there's some other news which is possibly quite exciting about Legends. So let's move along to that right now. So, I don't know. I'm just getting the line in my head. Hey, it's me. I know it's not. No, it's not like a famous Han Solo line, but I think that'd be a fun name for a dipper. Anyway, because I'd just be like, "Hey, it's me!" Yeah.
Every time you open a can, it's you.
Yes, I could see that would work for me. That one, right? So, going over to this article from the Metro. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake is real, and James Gunn is very keen. Ooh. One of the industry's most trustworthy rumor mongers. Well, we'll see about that when we find out who it is.
Is that a professional term?
Yeah, rumor mongers.
Where can I apply for this job?
It's next to the fishmongers.
I believe it's recently been added to the to the fishmonger. I believe it's recently been added to the Oxford English Dictionary, Andy. So there you go. A few years ago, in this very galaxy, fans were baying for the EU's blood, convinced they'd squandered the Star Wars license on 2 Battlefronts games and were desperate for it to be handed to someone else. Those complaints have lessened considerably following the release of Fallen Order and Squadrons, but many still can't understand how EA has never engineered a remake or sequel to Knights of the Old Republic, considering they own original developer BioWare. Rumors have suggested that plans are underway, though, and now respected Bloomberg journalist Jason Schreier has repeated his claim that there is something. Yes, it's real. So Schreier was speaking on the MinMax show and was asked specifically about the remake rumors, even though his previous comments on the matter were in the context of a brand new game. Fans probably won't mind which it is, but Schreier didn't seem to react to the question being phrased purely in terms of a remake or the suggestion that EU is not overseeing the game. BioWare's lack of involvement has been rumoured before, but that makes much more sense now that Lucasfilm Games has announced that other publishers, including Ubisoft and Bethesda, are working on their properties. I don't know what that must be an old Knights of the Old Republic clip, which I won't play because we'll get a strike anyway. Yeah. Previously, Schreier's comments that the developer of Knights of the Old Republic project would be impossible to guess was assumed to be a reference to a new, currently unknown studio, but now it could simply mean that it's someone connected to EA. Whatever's going on, the implication is that the project has been underway for some time. If it is a remake, then it would certainly have to be from the ground up, as the original is 18 years old now and very much showing its age. So a simple remaster would not be enough. Schreier has now confirmed that the remake is being handled by Aspyr, the studio behind recent remasters such as Episode 1 Racer and Republic Commando. That certainly is surprising, as while competent, those remasters changed nothing about the original games, whereas a remake would require a lot more effort, a bigger team and budget. Neither Aspyr or Lucasfilm Games have made any kind of official announcement yet, but presumably they will now that Schreier has spilled the beans. Interestingly, Guardians of the Galaxy director James Gunn caught wind of Schreier's comments and opined that not only was Knights of the Old Republic the best Star Wars game ever, but it was even better than the movies and shows. Is James Gunn looking for a project? For anyone else, that would just be an idle comment on Twitter. But given Gunn's contacts at Marvel, including Kevin Feige, it was known to be interested in producing a new Star Wars film. It's not impossible he could try to involve himself in either a new game or film adaptation. For now, though, most fans would be happy merely to have confirmation that anything new is happening with Knights of the Republic, whose historic period has been largely untouched since the 2004 sequel. It's a game. So it's a game. But potential on the film front. Let's just go back over to the comments before we dip in there. That news intro is slightly less impressive than the gaming one. Well, it's still very good though. And Andy composed all the music, you know. Yeah. So he's not going to do rotoscoping on every single one. He'd still be like making them in 2035.
It takes a while.
We've only got a small budget to
my computer's not that powerful.
No budget.
It takes about half an hour just to do 1 second of the intro to like render it.
You're joking.
Serious, yeah. That's Adobe After Effects, yeah.
There you go. What was I going to say? Something else then.
James Gunn. Something.
No. It was something related to that. Oh yeah. One day we'll get our acts together and do like a Patreon, so you can actually support the podcast if you like, folks. Or if you think it's a good idea, or if you have any suggestions for what kind of tiers you would like from a Patreon for Club Star Wars, then let me know.
We really need to grow this channel big time.
We do. We need to grow it. We've been around a long time.
Any suggestions are always appreciated.
Always appreciated. So
KOTOR, have you played it?
Colin's saying the helmet tusks are painted in A New Hope.
Ah, right. So they've got to paint one at least.
But they're not not embedded, are they? They're just
no. It's on the surface like paint or sticker. Yeah.
I think they got away with it because of the style of shots that they did in Star Wars. Whereas Rogue One, the Stormtroopers, a lot of the shots they're front and center, aren't they?
Oh, this is a good. Yeah. This is a good question from Carl. I've been asked to test you. What line in Empire Strikes Back did Harrison Ford make up on the day?
That's easy.
I love you.
Easy, yeah.
I love you. I know. Too easy. Too easy, Carl.
I was just going to say to you, craft beer, Paddy. What about I know?
Yeah, do you know? I did consider that. But
it's a bit niche for non-Star Wars fans, isn't it?
He also ad-libbed in New Hope, didn't he? In the prison cell block scene.
We're all fine now. We're all fine. Situation normal.
Yeah.
And it's like weapons malfunction. We're all fine now. Yeah. How are you? It's so
great,
good, that.
Isn't it?
Here's a good one. Now I think I know the answer to this question. You guys will probably get it if I don't. But yeah, in Star Wars: A New Hope, what species is the creature in the garbage compactor on the Death Star?
Dianoga.
Easy.
Dianoga.
There you go. And in fact, if you buy I think it was in, and it's quite a rare set now because everyone used to break them up. The Droid Factory, the Kenner Droid Factory set has got the Dianoga in it.
Oh yeah,
as a little toy.
Plastic eye. Oh.
Yes, yeah, I think so. Basically, that was it. 6. The music is seriously incredible. I noticed that in the opening credits that one of you had done it. Impressive, most impressive. Yeah, that's all Andy. That.
What's that? Sorry, the John Williams.
No, your music.
No music in the intro.
Oh, cheers, 6. Thank you.
Tell you what,
I thought you'd talk about Star Wars.
No, I completely agree. The countdown intro music, I absolutely love it.
I do. I just love listening to it.
That's where it came from.
from your mind.
Every time I write a piece of music and someone gives me anything remotely positive on it, I'm like, well, that was a minor miracle that happened. But yeah, doing Star Wars music is difficult because of it has its it's a bit like what Michael Giacchino and John Powell had. There's this huge expectation from the music, and even if fans don't realize it, the music plays such a big role, and anyone coming into that, that's why I mentioned Gordy Hart before, who scored Squadrons and Battlefront 2. He's an incredible. He's like assimilated the Star Wars score, the style of it so well. I actually was tricked on Battlefront 1. I thought I was listening to new Force Awakens music. It was that close. I told him as well. I said,
yeah, you had a bit of back and forth with him, didn't you?
Yeah, he's just on Facebook. He's a really nice guy. Really nice guy. Very talented. Very much like John Williams himself. Pencil, paper. Traditional.
Wow. Fantastic.
Good guy.
Yeah. So 6 was back on to say about because I'd mentioned tears. No, not those kind of tears. Yes. Patreon tiers is what you said. Sorry, I'm in the US and only understand Midwest American. Okay. So I didn't realize you were in the Midwest. So yeah, Patreon tiers. Is that better? Okay. So
don't ask me to do an American accent. Whatever you do. It all comes out like Welsh or something. I'm
gonna read Carl's next comment in I don't know if I'm doing Midwest or just generic American. You'll have to point me on this 6, but Carl was saying, my brother-in-law just moved to Calgary. The guy who plays the Mandalorian is going to be in Calgary this summer filming the TV show from the PlayStation game, The Last of Us. Wow. Please, can you get
Pedro Pascal? Yeah.
Yeah.
Calgary,
Please.
Calgary's Canada, isn't it?
Stalking for an autograph, dude.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that the people commenting are like testing our Star Wars knowledge. Keep doing it.
Yeah, this is good.
Keep
Carl.
doing it.
Keep the questions coming.
He's a massive Star Wars fan.
Your music fits perfectly in the Star Wars
It
universe.
certainly does.
It does. That's why Andy should be given the next Star Wars spin-off to compose.
I'll have a panic attack.
I'm having a panic attack. You'll end up driving to Dundee in your bare feet.
You can't go see Shrek in your bare feet.
Sorry, go on, Matt.
No, I was going to say we've got some Star Wars stuff filming in this country right now, haven't we?
Yeah, we're going to go over to that in a second. Yeah, he's a massive Star Wars fan. He'll be there. Cool. Right, well, get him on it. I'll fit him up with some images so you can get them sorted out. So, oh my God, it's like listening to my next door neighbor. please go back to the British accent.
That was more California than Paddy.
It was. I did. I went more
LA.
If you go Midwestern's better. If you think Kevin Costner, it's Kevin Midwest. He's got a great Midwestern.
Kevin Costner.
It's got a great Midwestern drawl, hasn't he? So Carl's going to test us on the quiz again before we move on to the next piece of news.
Okay, here we go.
When Princess Leia says she loves him at the end while he's being lowered into the carbonite, he says, "I know." Yes. Oh, sorry. You're referring to what we were saying before when Harrison Ford came up with his own stuff.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
He made. Yeah.
That's because Harrison's a genius as well as the
It
best actor ever.
It actually said "I love you" too, didn't it, in the script?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Here's a bit of trivia for you two from me. So, the line that C-3PO says in Empire Strikes Back during the asteroid field chase, the odds of survival are what number?
3,720 to 1.
Do you know what the script said?
No.
3,721
Close.
to 1.
3,725 to 1.
Oh, 4 outs.
But Anthony Daniels said, I can't say that. So he asked George to change it to the one in the movie.
All right,
Well,
okay. He couldn't say 5.
So Anthony
It's
changed
just,
one
it's just
digit.
the rhythm. It's just the rhythm
Right.
of it.
Yeah.
It does roll off the tongue a bit easier. Only a bit, though.
3,725 to 1. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. You kind of stumble over the 5 a bit, don't you?
You know, I'm so shit with numbers, but sometimes I do manage to retain them for like long periods of time. It's weird. Definitely a Star Wars fan. Definitely.
How many matches?
I wonder how many Star Wars fans have that as the pin number.
Give me your phone. Yeah. So 6 was back and say, I just sent a GIF of that to a friend on Twitter. Excellent. Luke, we've got a new commenter in. Luca Mackie, music. Yoda's theme is the best theme across Star Wars. Changed my mind.
No,
it is.
Andy, go.
It's definitely up there, man. It's definitely up there.
Well,
Go.
the thing is, I've talked about this before, but when Empire Strikes Back comes out, when the new Star Wars comes out, there's always what's the big. So yeah, when a new Star Wars movie comes out, obviously Empire is the next sequel, the only sequel at that point. Is people get excited about the new themes that John does, but because of the iconicness of the Imperial March, it just casts this huge shadow over the rest of the score, and people forget that Yoda's theme is actually one of the most beautiful pieces of music that John ever wrote. I mean, John Williams actually talks about, the intervals they do. I don't want to get copyright strike, so I'll just do a bit. Do, 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 do. Really simple melodic intervals. And he says they're actually quite childlike. And there's like a youthfulness. And I mean, it's quite cool because we don't need to, we don't need to reflect that Yoda's old. We can see that. So the music does the opposite almost.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gorgeous. And in Rise of Disappointment, when when the X-wing comes out the water, John Williams had music in mind for that scene, but I don't know who it was. Maybe JJ said, "No, we've got to do the music from Empire Strikes Back." You know, Yoda in the Force, where he lifts the X-wing and he drops it down. But I think John was a bit like, "Can we do that?" So he went back in the archives and got the score out and re-recorded it. But the performance of the LSO on the Empire Strikes Back LP will never be topped. I prefer the Empire version.
Getting John wrong, JJ.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, what's your favourite, Andy?
I was going to say that, yeah.
I think I know.
Go on.
Imperial March.
It's just got to be. It's amazing. What I think I know what Paddy's is, and I know what Matt's is, actually. I can do both of you.
Go on. Go.
Paddy is Asteroid Field. Empire Strikes Back. And Matt has to be the Binary Sunset from A New Hope.
Bingo.
There you go.
That's the one cue that never fails to give me goosebumps. The Binary Sunset.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Brings a tear to a glass eye, that one.
It does. Absolutely. It does. Hair stand up. It's
beautiful.
They're going to do it in Kenobi. They're going to do it.
They will. They have to.
I'll cry my eyes out. I can't wait.
It'd be like baby Luke. Toddler Luke trotting up the hill.
Do it, Paddy.
With the Binary Sunset.
Paddy's been doing it.
Now you're describing it. It's like
I've been doing what?
Paddy's been doing this line for like 4 years now. Watching Luke from afar.
Yeah.
So a bit of love for Yoda's theme for once. It's not all about the Imperial March, Andy.
I do love that theme.
It's a beauty. It's like Leia's theme.
Leia's theme,
yeah. But you know, Leia's theme, I always find, and you might agree with me on this. It's like, I know they exist in different universes, but like Leia's theme and Marion's theme from Raiders, I feel like part 1 and part 2 of like the ultimate female theme. You know,
they open on the same interval, don't they?
You see.
All right. Yeah. Well, there you go.
The major six interval is considered a love interval, as is the minor 6, which is what Across the Stars opens with.
It's a good job you can teach somebody who's supposed to know about music as a musician what it actually means.
I'm learning something brand new every time I come onto this podcast. It's fantastic. Yeah, but I always confuse Marion's theme with Leia's. So Leia's is do 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 do. And what's Marion's theme?
I'm not going to be able to bring it to 9 now because I've got
Leia's
theme in my head.
But it's dead similar.
I was just about to sing Yoda's theme.
That's it. There you go. So the same opening interval. It's considered a love interval historically, right? And then Across the Stars has the minor version of it. Do 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 do. Very close interval because it's the love theme. Here's some more quick trivia for you. You've got the Star Wars theme, which is Luke's theme, a fifth. Do, 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 do. And then you've got Leia's theme, do, 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 which is a major 6. There's one note in between those two themes, the Luke and Leia theme, and that's what Across the Stars is because it's the parents of Luke and Leia.
Wow.
He's a clever bastard, that John.
He is.
And John, don't be so shy hiding in behind that.
Looks
behind
like
that box there.
Peeking out from the shelving units there.
Come into the light and share with us what did you.
He's a shy guy.
I can do a little bit of John Williams' voice. Oh, hello and welcome to Club Star Wars. He's got this really soft voice. I could hear him talk about anything.
Yeah.
So he's going to do Indiana Jones 5.
Yeah.
He's going to be 90. He's going to be 90 when he does that film next year.
Incredible. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'll end with this. Somebody asked him, when are you going to retire? And John said, how do you retire from music?
Very true. I think him and McCartney parked their cars in the same garage on that one.
Yeah.
Just keep going, man.
Yeah.
So Carl was back on with another quiz question. Easy one, this.
Well,
let's see. Should we? I'm going to put it up on the screen.
It's a question, a quiz.
He's on. What is
is this
Emperor
easy?
Palpatine's
Come
first
on,
name?
Carl.
Go on.
I mean, did you guys think it was a joke when you read that? I
Dave.
thought someone's winding
Dave
me up.
Palpatine.
Did you
I
see
always
Red
thought-
Letter Media's reaction to it?
No.
No.
Because Mike at Red Letter Media does a pretty decent Palpatine, and he goes, he says to Mr. Plink, he goes, "Am I in this new Star Wars?" And it's when the Force Awakens is coming out, and he goes, "I'm Sheev," and then Plinky goes, "What?" And he goes, "My name, it's Sheev." Then Plinkett goes, "No one cares, Palpatine. No one cares about you anymore. People want Sith Lords with robot arms." I mean, how right were they that he was coming back? They called it in 2015, by the way, Red Letter Media.
They're bloody brilliant.
They said Palpatine's coming back.
Yeah, I would never have called it.
No.
And I still
When I
can't
was-
believe it to this day.
I've got to be honest. When first somebody, because it's not mentioned, isn't it? It's not mentioned in the films, is it? It's something we found out
His
afterwards.
first name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not in the films.
Guess here's some trivia for you. While
but
Paddy's on that, he's just reminded me of something.
Go on.
He's not Emperor Palpatine in Return of the Jedi. He's the Emperor.
The Emperor.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I always knew him as the Emperor when I was a kid.
Yeah,
but when somebody told me that it was Sheev, I thought they said Sheath. So I was like, the Emperor's first name is like a condom, really?
Oh, Sheath, as in sheath.
Sheath. I've got no sheaths. Anyway, being your age, it probably doesn't really matter, does it?
So in the behind the scenes of A New Hope, when they're all sat around the table in the Death Star, did they mention Palpatine by name? The
Emperor. That's all they say.
Yeah.
The
In the actual
Emperor.
movie they do, but in the outtakes,
I don't think. I might
be getting a bit confused because I think they mentioned the Sith. They mentioned the Sith, don't they?
In A New Hope.
Yeah, but no. In the outtakes of A New Hope.
I don't think so.
I think it was only the Emperor. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
How the Emperor maintain control without the bureaucracy.
The regional governors now have direct control over their territories. Fear. Oh my God, how good is
Cushing?
Mr. Cushing? Yeah,
Cushing was great, wasn't he? So, what a nice one for you from Brian Andy. Andy.
What's that?
Apart from the beer, Andy's musical insights are the highlight of the show.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it.
There you go. His first name is Emperor. Yeah.
Also, here's another trivia for you about
I
Return of the
always
Jedi.
Yeah.
Nobody says the word Ewok in Return of the Jedi,
No.
but we all knew they were called Ewoks because of the toys.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's called something, I suppose. Yeah.
I do believe they think I am some sort of god. And it went right to his head, didn't it?
Certainly did.
Yeah.
Why don't you use your divine influence and try and get us out of this?
Harrison's face there is brilliant. Get us out of this. It looks a bit real. He's that good.
Yeah.
He looks genuinely pissed off.
Like he's trying to keep it on the down low as well. Yeah. His comedy was pretty good. Here's a little trivia bit. Now, like I said for you, I think, like I've always said before, I always felt he's kind of punching the clock a little bit in Return of the Jedi. But he's trying to play, I think because he didn't have much to do, he's trying to play up the comedy. And in one of the, I don't know if it's in one of the original, I think it's in one of the original making ofs. I don't know if it turned up in those ones that they put out on the DVDs and stuff. What was that called? Like Empire of Dreams or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
The sort of 3 thing. So there's a bit in one of the making ofs where they shoot in the bit where he goes, where Luke says, tell them if they don't do what you want, you'll become angry and use your magic. And you can see he's discussing it. Ford's discussing it with I don't know if he's discussing it with Marquand. I think with like Marquand and Hamill, and they're all discussing it together.
Yeah.
And Harrison's basically saying we should do it we do it together. So it's like me and Luke say it at the same time, and you can see that they're practicing it, going, just tell them, like, you know, and it's only Luke who says it. But Ford was trying to play up the comedy and get it so that they both say it at the same time. But obviously Lucas was like,
yeah. Oh man, that should have happened.
yeah. But that was.
Do you remember the? I thought you were going to talk about the bunker Paddy with Harrison, where what was cut, where he goes scum,
Yeah.
rebel scum. That scene. Harrison originally said in the script it was scum.
Yeah, that's right. That was
Barry.
with our mate Barry. Yeah. Barry.
There was a whole sequence with that, wasn't there?
Yeah, he slapped him as well. He slapped. Did we say Harrison Ford slapped him or the other way around? I can't remember now.
So Barry slaps Harrison.
I think so. Yeah.
That's how I remember it.
Yeah. There's a slap as well, but I don't know if that's in the outtake. Is it?
No, it doesn't show up. No, that came out on the 2011 Blu-ray set.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
There's some cool Jedi deleted footage, wasn't there? Like the Lost Pilots, I think they called it, and there was there's an Admiral Akbar species, the Mon Calamari, in an A-wing.
Yeah, because it's got a guy. It's got the what's his name now? Just talking about him the other day, and he's done loads in Star Wars, but he's in like one of the Death Star in the Millennium Falcon cockpit.
Yeah,
in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
with like a sort of rebel
dressed the same as Crix Maydeen, wasn't he?
With a fake beard. And everything.
Yeah, Crix Maydeen has the worst beard on screen. It's got to be, hasn't it?
It's such a bugbear for the original actor that as well. He absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, he was in the chair.
Noel Edmonds' house party.
He was in the chair of Akbar's. He was in Akbar's chair. You know where Akbar does his famous "It's a trap." It was Crix Maydeen took over in that. After that, there's a deleted scene where you see Crix Maydeen in the chair spinning round because it's got a killer chair, hasn't it?
Yeah. Like on an arm sort of thing. Yeah.
They got rid of the beard. It's Trevor Butterfield is the guy who's in the deleted
gunner.
Cockpit gunner. And Trevor did loads of stuff. He's like behind Vader in one scene, I think in Empire, and he's done loads of bits and pieces. He's one of the two guys that puts the Ark down in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, right.
He's been around stuff for years. He also he did a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I've met him a few times, Trevor, but he did. He was in control of the face hugger in Aliens as well and stuff like that. He's done loads of bits like behind the scenes as well as like on screen. Interesting guy. Right. Oh, so we've got another question from Luca. We have got news to move on to, but we will get to that. But it's great. This is what a news show should be like.
Yeah.
Us just talking, shooting the breeze with you guys. With us guys, with you guys out there. So let's go to this. So what do you think of Bad Batch? This is over to you two, really. Probably more Andy even so than.
Well, we haven't seen it yet.
You watch it as well.
We've only seen the trailers, haven't we, Matt?
I've not even seen the trailer yet.
But they do appear. Okay. They do appear in the series before that, though, didn't they?
Yeah, they do. They appear in the last
in Rebels.
Well, it's the Clone Wars.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Clone Wars.
It reminds me, we were talking about Republic Commando earlier. The Squadron Republic Commando remind me of the Bad Batch, or the other way around.
Yeah,
Republic Commando was first. But I'm excited for the series because it's going to. Because I was very upset when Clone Wars finished, but this is a way that Clone Wars can continue, and it looks like it's going to start on the day of Revenge of the Sith, where the Emperor declares Darth Sidious creates the Empire in front of everybody. And then Natalie Portman says, and this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause.
Okay.
So apparently that's where it's going to start, in the middle of Revenge of the Sith, which is very exciting.
Right.
It looks to me like they're going to disobey Order 66, the Bad Batch, but I could be wrong. and it looks like they're on the run from the Empire. So hopefully, probably, they're going to have to escape the Inquisitors, but Darth Vader as well.
Yeah. The Flying Inquisitors.
I like the sound of that.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that. So
What?
they fly
Yeah.
now? They fly
They
now?
fly
They fly now.
Yeah, because if you repeat a
Yes,
shit
they've-
line 3 times, it makes it funnier.
It does. It does make it funny.
Yeah.
And, you know, because Boba Fett flew fucking 30 years ago. But anyway.
Move
Carl,
along.
sliding off. Thanks for the knowledge. Be ready. Sorry, sliding off. Thanks for the knowledge. Be ready for the next one. I'll have some harder questions. Good night,
Thanks,
Carl.
Carl.
All good.
See you later, mate. Six was saying she hasn't also seen the trailer
No,
yet.
no, I don't. Yeah, I don't know why I've not seen the trailer yet. It's pretty crazy.
I couldn't wait.
So,
I can't not watch
is-
trailers.
is the
I wish I was-
is the trailer on Disney Plus to view, or do you have to go on YouTube? Yeah, all right, okay.
Either or, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's on. I think it's on the tube.
There's 2
Because,
trailers. I think there was a teaser, and now there's a what you would refer to as the theatrical trailer. But it debuts on the 4th of May, which is Star Wars
Right.
Day.
Yeah, true.
I tell you
I was
what.
about to ask you when does it debut, but yeah,
Mm.
there you go. I got my answer. Right, so it's not that long away.
Not long to go. What was that? You kind of segued us into some news. What was going to be the next one, Matt? And I've forgotten because I'm drinking.
What's that?
Filming in this country, Star Wars. That's what
That's
Matt
right.
said.
Actually, I'm not drunk yet But speaking of what we were doing before about the Stormtrooper beer, Vocation. That's who make it.
That's the brewery that make it.
Yeah, and this is Love and Hate, which is also available in Tesco. Very very nice NEPA, which I would recommend if you're
Right. You know what?
in the market. If you're in Tesco,
I wonder if Vocation would be up for a chat.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, why not? Let's ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question. Blah, 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 blah. 6. I don't want to get my hopes up, only to get kicked in the boobs. Yes. I don't want to get kicked in the boob when it airs. Okay.
Yeah. That, I mean, to be honest with you, 6. That's my sort of frame of mind at the moment with anything Star Wars that's coming out of current Lucasfilm. Yeah, I treat it with a bit of standoffishness, if you know what I mean.
With
Like,
kid,
I'll watch it expecting not very much, and I'll hopefully be pleasantly surprised.
with kid gloves, kit fisto gloves.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, it's been burnt too many times, I think. What did they say? Once bitten, twice shy.
I've got to be honest. I'm kind of in agreement with Luca. I try never to give in to hype, but I'm pretty excited about Kenobi as well, mate. I've got to be honest. I am pretty excited about that.
That's my level. If you've got levels of excitement for anything Star Wars, that's probably peaking for me personally.
Oh,
yeah,
Kenobi. You're a big Obi man, so
yeah.
absolutely. So listen, before we do the stuff about like Star Wars shooting in England, I want to do some complete bullshit Star Wars theory news. And when I say Star Wars theory, I'm going to clarify, not Star Wars theory, but
Not the YouTuber Star Wars theory.
not the YouTuber Star Wars theory, but
Right.
this is another YouTuber that most of us like. That I think we all agree just kind of generally peddles not so much truth. So I'm going to do that. You'll laugh when you see it as well. To be honest.
I'm looking forward to this.
Star Wars reboot. Daisy Ridley replaced as Rey Skywalker by Keira Knightley.
What? What the hell?
But once I get to the punchline, you'll understand. After the events of Rise of Skywalker, Star Wars fans have been excited to find out what happened to Rey after she'd denounced her Palpatine bloodline. The heroine, who was played by Ridley, announced she was taking on the surname Skywalker to honor her mentors, Luke Skywalker, was he a mentor? And Leia Organa, Carrie Fisher. YouTuber Mike Zero
Yeah.
has now suggested Ridley will not be returning to the franchise in an upcoming Disney Plus series that focuses on Rey's next story. The information Zero revealed ought to be taken with a grain of salt. Do you think?
Yeah,
Or
try
do you
it
think?
strong.
Or do you think more like a JCB full of salt? However, however, as not much every piece of Star Wars intel he has provided has been 100% correct. With that said, he has recently delved into the future of the series, which supposedly includes a reboot of the series following Troz. He said the next part of Rey's stories will be told in an animated TV show which will use advanced CGI, similar to that seen in Star Wars video games The Old Republic and Battlefront 2, and will retcon some aspects of Troz, including why she took the Skywalker name. However, Zero said Ridley will not reprise her role as the voice or likeness of Rey and will instead be replaced by Knightley for the animated outing. Knightley is best known for playing Elizabeth Swann in Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
She also had a small part in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, as Padme, Natalie Portman's decoy. Very true. Zero said the concept of Rey Skywalker will be changed dramatically in this series, with many aspects of her character being rewritten. He said in a video, which was released earlier this month, Daisy will be replaced as Rey Skywalker in the planned sequel series, where Lucasfilm have chosen Keira Knightley to lend her voiceover work and facial scans to portray the character of Rey in animated form. Daisy wants nothing to do with Star Wars anymore, since she herself had issues with Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy. It's important to note that last year, Ridley commented on her potential return to the Star Wars universe. Ridley told Empire, I mean, never say never. I'm always open to revisit, but also the beautiful thing is it's this wonderful, huge universe with all of these stories that have yet to be told. I think there's a lot of cool things to be made before any potential revisit. Zero went on to say Keira Knightley was requested by Chief Executive Officer Disney Bob Chapek. He added that Star Wars and the Mandalorian paycheck. Yeah. He added that in Star Wars and the Mandalorian writer Jon Favreau wants to give a legitimate reason behind why Rey gave herself the Skywalker name. The Star Wars leaker previously gave a report about the content of this long-rumored Rey Skywalker Disney Plus TV series. In a video last month, Zero revealed how the show would follow Rey and her child, whom she had with Kylo Ren, Ben Solo. How is that possible then? Didn't he die? Like on the spot?
Yeah.
Was there a cutscene where they got it on and stuff? He said Rey's son, Cade Skywalker, would be played by Garrett Hedlund of Tron Legacy fame. He'd be way too old, wouldn't he? Cade was originally a character in Star Wars Extended Universe before it was rendered non-canon by Disney in 2013. YouTube added that Kylo Ren didn't die in Rise of Skywalker, but instead had his soul infused with Rey's. Okay, here we go. This odd turn of events will supposedly go on to allow Rey to become pregnant, continuing the Skywalker bloodline. Meanwhile, Zero has also claimed another series will be coming to Disney Plus in the future, starring Brie Larson. The Captain Marvel star would be playing a brand new character, Maeve, who has more power than Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker.
Wow.
Well,
Tell you what,
of course she does.
Mike Zero's talents are wasted. He's got such an amazing imagination. He should be working for Lucasfilm, making up these things, you know.
Absolutely.
You know,
Andy's speechless at this point.
Bollocks. How can you go on YouTube every day and just spout made up shit all the time? You know? But the thing is, though, he's got a career out of it, man. He's got news articles being written about what he does. What he says.
This is quite harsh, but
go on.
Daisy will be replaced by a shelf. Listen, I thought she was very good in the first one.
Yeah.
He influenced the midichlorians just as he died to impregnate Rey, obviously. Okay, fair enough. I don't think we need to say anything more about that. Oh, goodness gracious me.
You're right, Andy.
That twat does not deserve the airtime.
Yeah.
Don't give it to him, guys.
I know.
No more zero. No more zero.
He's not worth your brain cells. Honestly.
No, zero. It's worth absolute zero.
I was going to quote Partridge. You know when he's in the caravan and he says, when he says to Lynn, "I'm tempted to say she was big-hearted, but that will be bullshit."
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Well, let's finish with what could be. Well, there's a bit on Obi-Wan which we could do, but I'm thinking we'd probably just finish up on "It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. Star Wars coming home." Yeah, see what I did there?
I did.
Careful.
Oh yeah, we'll get a strike for that as well. Star Wars Corriton Refinery produces and stars seen filming at Essex site. This is from gazette-news.co.uk. From reporter Matthew Crichton, who actually looks about 12. So well done to him for becoming a reporter. Crews and stars and writers of Star Wars series were seen filming at an Essex site, according to Star Wars Sessions. Is Star Wars Sessions? Do we know?
Say that again. So Star Wars Sessions.
Star Wars Sessions. Yeah, Star Wars Sessions.
Want a massive sesh, mate, on Star Wars.
Star Wars Session. Sounds good. The online source says shooting for the upcoming Disney Plus series Andor has been taking place on the former Corriton refinery site in Corringham. I wanted to say Croydon. It feels like it should be Croydon, really, to me. I've never heard of Corriton. Have you? Corriton?
No.
Coruscant? A spokesman said the shoot itself is being ready for the past few weeks, and these same sources have confirmed the presence of both Tony Gilroy and Diego Luna for the principal photography shoot. Excuse me. Mr. Gilroy is an American screenwriter and filmmaker, while Mr. Luna is one of the stars of the show. According to Star Wars Sessions, no story details were given. The shoot has been ongoing for several weeks, including prep time and setup time, and Tony Gilroy, Diego Luna, and various members of the cast have been on location to shoot scenes. The series source spokesman added, multiple locations across and within the refinery have been utilized. Various instances of green screen have been spotted across the site. Location, facility, vehicle providers, movie makers have been active on set throughout. There you go.
I've seen the movie maker vans in Leeds a few years ago. I just turned up to work and the entire car park were just full of them. I was like, oh, I never found out what they were doing. Wouldn't have been Star Wars. But yeah, I don't know what they were making.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've heard quite a few things about Star Wars stuff being about Lucasfilm being shot in the UK.
Yes.
None of which I'm going to reveal on this show.
No. Because we've got plans.
Because we have got plans. So
loose lips sink starships. That's what JJ said.
Yeah. And Mark Hamill's tweeted out a few times.
Yeah.
So sorry, guys. We're not going to share that.
Can't reveal our secrets at the moment, but stay
no
tuned.
way. Stay tuned. Anyway.
That was about the filming of
Andor.
Yeah, because I think one article suggested Rogue Squadron, which it can't be, can it? It can't be Rogue Squadron.
There you go. Well, we're going to move on to Rogue One in a minute, and we're also moving along with the beer since Brian mentioned it. A controversial week for craft beer. Very controversial week for craft beer, folks. Okay, so Cloudwater and obviously one of the biggest breweries in Manchester and the UK. Along with Vault City, who make these very popular but very expensive sours. They're like about £9 a bottle, between 9 and 13 quid a bottle, these sours. This week, the Vault City sours went into Tesco for £3 a bottle. And also Cloudwater's core range, which includes one of my favourite beers of all time, DDH Pale, are now not being sold anywhere else but Tesco. So
really?
However, They've been recanned. The can's totally different. That's like printed on the can.
They've been
And-
recanned, you tool.
They've been recanned, so and these core range beers of Cloudwaters are actually being brewed now by not Magic Rock, by Brewdog. Brewdog are now brewing Cloudwater. So very
Wow.
interesting. So I got
Brewdog based in Scotland, Brewdog.
they're international now, aren't they? Incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got a bottle of a can of DDH Pale for £3.50. Fair enough. But yeah, there's many rumblings in the craft community now about, particularly in the snobbery end of people who are just like, oh, it's going into supermarkets. I don't want to buy it now, and stuff like that. And obviously, like, independent shops are complaining about it, rightly so, because they spent a long time propping up these breweries. So it's a very complicated argument. It's a very complicated argument for craft beer. One that I don't want to get involved in, because obviously I want to support just craft beer in general. So
yeah, you've got a hat in that game.
I've got a hat in the game. So 6 heading for bed. Thanks for the chat, guys.
No worries, and hopefully see you next week.
Yep, see you next week. I hope we've not kept you up too late. So let's move along with the final segment of Star Wars coming back to the UK. Sorry, guys, I'm forgetting about. This is taken from. Well, this is interesting because it says MSN.com, but it also says Daily Mail. So I'm going to give Daily Mail a scoop. Star Wars Rogue Squadron first look. It's not a first look. It's a drone shot. Look at all those pipes.
And is it Rogue Squadron? This is what I want to know. I don't know. I'm confused.
Well, this is the thing, because
this
it
could
says,
be any of the new projects.
It says
Like,
Essex. It says Essex, so it could well be just Andor as well. Do you know what I mean?
Could be Kenobi.
Could be Kenobi.
Is that a snow? That's a snow speeder down there, isn't it?
I don't think so. Oh yeah. It kind of looks like a snow speeder, but shorter.
Mm.
However,
is it not meant to be the front of a Y-wing?
Well, it could be. Yeah, it's like, well.
Yeah, that's a good point. It does look like the cockpit of a Y-wing. However, this looks like the engine off a pod racer. Yeah,
that's the engine of a Y-wing, sure.
That's a Y. Yeah, I was thinking Y-wing myself.
Do you know, you got a good point there. Throw that over there.
It's like a Y-wing scrapyard.
Like they've not put it together yet. Could be, yeah. I don't know.
There's an episode of Star Wars Rebels about a Y-wing scrapyard.
There is, yeah. That's
you know
true.
That's obviously still being built, but if you look at the back, it kind of looks a bit Slave One-ish. A little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, work continued on a building site far away. See what they did there? On Wednesday, as a not-so-futuristic set was methodically assembled for the next installment in the Star Wars franchise. Tucked away in a secure location in Essex. Wasn't that secure, was it? Because you got a drone over there, didn't you, Daily Mail? Which appeared to be Shellhaven Creek. A large production team prepared the green screens upon which the film's CGI-generated battle scenes will play out when the spin-off Rogue Squadron goes on general release, offering a telling insight into what to expect from the new film, which has been slated for a Christmas Day 2023 launch. A series of battle-weary spacecraft was seen being built around a sprawling set perimeter. Yeah.
Interesting.
So anyway, crew was seen busily working on building a number of spaceships for the shoot, with what appeared to be, Andy on the money, a top of a Y-wing starfighter visible on one part of the site.
There you go.
A larger, partially built spaceship was also seen with a battered silver and red livery on the cockpit, while rockets have been placed around the location. Patty Jenkins was unveiled as the director in December 2020, becoming the first woman to helm a Star Wars movie in the franchise's 44-year history. Rogue Squadron will focus on the X-Wing resistance pilots. X-Wing resistance fighter pilots. This is a tongue twister, guys. I'm going to start from the beginning. Rogue Squadron will focus on the X-Wing resistance fighter pilots featured prominently throughout the franchise.
Try and say that over and over again.
Jesus Christ almighty. With Jenkins admitting she was keen to develop their story after growing up in an Air Force family. Get off my plane. Speaking at a Disney earnings presentation, she said, I love to move fast and speed of any kind. I think that's because I grew up the daughter of a great fighter pilot. And every day I would wake up and go outside and look up and see my father and his squadron taking off in their F4s, whirring across the sky. And it was the most thrilling thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. In other news, by the way, Michael Keaton confirmed to reply to the joke. Oh my God, yes! Jenkins. Jenkins' father, William T. Jenkins, was an Air Force captain who earned a Silver Star in the Vietnam War and died during a NATO mock dogfight when she was 7 years old. Wow. Yeah, that's another interesting looking ship here. She continued. So when he lost his life in service to his country, it ignited a desire in me to turn all that tragedy into a thrill. All that tragedy and thrill into one day making the greatest fighter pilot movie of all time. But try as I might and look as I did, I couldn't find the right story ever. I kept looking and looking, but I just couldn't find the right one until now. Now I find a movie about two things I love, so I'm going to see you very soon. In Star Wars canon, the Rogue Squadron was founded by Luke Skywalker and named after Jyn Erso's team of rebels who sacrificed themselves to get the plans for the Death Star during the Battle of Scarif, which was the focus of spin-off film Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. You can see here they've pointed out green screens, spaceships.
Why have they said that Rogue Squadron was formed by Luke Skywalker? It was before Luke.
That's very true.
He was Red 5. He joined.
Yeah,
Rogue
he did.
Squadron.
He wasn't Rogue One, was he?
No,
that was Jyn Erso, sorry. However, Paddy revealed to IGN that her film will be a completely new and original story and will also not be related to the Rogue Squadron's video game. While Paddy was announced to direct the hotly anticipated feature film, no cast members have been revealed yet, and in typical Lucasfilm fashion, details of the plot remain tightly under wraps. Star Wars Rogue Squadron is set to release December 22nd, 2023.
Okay, so
there you go.
Let's say this is Rogue Squadron. Are you looking forward to it? What do you think?
I'm looking forward to it because
When
as soon as I hear Rogue Squadron, I'm like, yes, the N64 days of the 90s.
I know, but what time period is this movie going to be set? I think people have said it's going to be sequel trilogy era because isn't the picture of the X-wing?
Yeah.
Sequel trilogy, or is it? You know,
I feel like there was something.
stuff.
I feel like there was something said about that. Like,
remember when the news first dropped? We heard it was going to be after the sequel trilogy, and I was like, well, that's stupid. The war is over. But I actually said at the time as well, the logo is the T-65 X-Wing from the original trilogy.
yeah.
Are you sure?
It looks like one.
Yeah, I seem to remember us hearing that. Like, I seem to remember we heard about it and we were like super pumped that it was like Rogue Squadron. So maybe it's like some mission in between Empire and Jedi or something.
Yeah,
but then we heard that it was sequel trilogy. But has any of that been confirmed by anybody? I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, well, you know the announcement trailer with Patty Jenkins in it?
Yeah.
She was in an X-Wing. What?
She's getting into the T-65 X-Wing.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Right. Well,
original.
that makes me feel a little bit better.
I think I said at the time it'll be post Return of the Jedi.
yeah.
It'll be
It'll
around the
be
time of Squadrons, I reckon.
Battle of Jakku.
I hope so. I do want to see that. I mean, we've seen some of it in Battlefront, but I want to see it on the big screen.
Yeah. And if those set photographs are legit for this particular movie, then that does point towards original trilogy era.
Yeah, it
ships.
certainly does with a Y-wing. Yeah, that's quite exciting.
And what do you think about Paddy Jenkins? Because I've not seen the last movie she did, which was the second Wonder Woman movie, but I heard it wasn't brilliant. A lot of people said, nah.
I heard it was pants compared to the last one. Yeah.
Yeah. So a bit hit and miss. But
hang on. Luca's got a thing here. It's all about Rogue Leader for the GameCube.
Yeah. Absolutely, I agree. I love that game.
Love that
game. I've actually got that game. I've got both of them downstairs.
It's over there on my shelf.
I just need another GameCube to play it on.
That was Rogue Squadron 2, wasn't it? And then there was Rogue Squadron 3.
Yes, because the first one was the 64, wasn't it?
I don't think the third one did as well as the second one.
No, that's one where you can hop out the cockpit and run around a bit, and then
yeah. And if you can activate Disco Darth Vader as well.
Yeah.
And the 1978 Mecha remix of the Star Wars theme plays.
Yeah.
I love that.
I do.
So you were saying however, Matt. You said however. Patty Jenkins, you were talking about Patty Jenkins, yeah.
Yes. However, judging by that article and what she's said, she seems quite passionate about this movie. Going off her own personal history with her father, and all that.
Yeah,
so
sounds like
that kind of gives me a little bit of hope that she's going to be really focused on what she's doing. It's probably a passion for her. She's really into it. So we probably could expect something very, very good. I'm not gonna diss anything from her just now because I have liked some of her stuff in the past. So
yeah, I mean, from the passion that she's pouring on, like it seems like she's tried to do a passion project of this kind of thing and never found the right story, and then now she's kind of made it fit into a Star Wars thing. So which historically is bang on the money, because the assembly cuts of Star Wars A New Hope, before they put the SFX in, Lucas put in like old black and white dogfights from like original World War II footage or old World War II films
from the dam busters and all this sort of,
as holding shots to show how it would work. So if she's going in that direction, that's exactly what we want.
Yeah. As long as I think Brian's just commented about the last movie was Wonder Woman 1984.
Wonder Woman 2 is unwatchable. First film was great. Wonder Woman 84. I've not seen it, to be honest, mate, because I tuned after Batman and Batman v Superman. I just tuned out.
Yeah. I've seen the first Wonder Woman, and again, it was great. I've seen like the first 10 minutes of the second one, and then turned it off. Not that I was getting bored of it or anything. It was just really late. But
fair enough. Okay.
I think she had more to do with the writing of the second one. Correct me if I'm wrong. Brian might know, but I don't think her prowess was really into the writing of the movie. Maybe, or I don't know. So,
too many cooks spoil the prop.
Yeah.
Keeps
I think
happening
she did
with
have a
DC,
writing
probably.
part. Yeah. I don't think DC have really hit the nail on the head when it comes to these movies at the moment.
Yeah, it's the film by committee problem, isn't it? I think.
Yes.
Which just has been proved doesn't work, but I'm sure they'll realise that at some point.
Well, you'd like to think they would have realised by now, but yeah.
I hope so. There's quite a lot of money involved, you know. But, what would be very interesting is relating back to the news we were talking about earlier, like if Gunn and even Feige come over and say, you know, we're going to do Star Wars, we're going to do Knights of the Old Republic or something. You know, that if that gives them the scope to test the water and then go, okay, we want to create a new Star Wars cinematic universe that exists outside of, you know, sequels, prequels, whatever, so that they could do something really interesting without, you know, fucking up what's already been around.
Yeah.
Then I'm all for that. That'd be great. You know, if they could get as many films as, and yeah, you know, there's maybe a very small exception of like 1 or 2 films that were not that great, but largely, how many Marvel films are there? There's like, what were there so far? It's like 22 or something.
Man, they were on a roll.
Yeah, they fucking nailed it, man.
And you know what? When Disney announced they're making more Star Wars movies back in the day, I was so pumped because I instantly connected Marvel to Star Wars, thinking, well, Disney are doing Marvel movies, and those are pretty bloody good.
Yeah.
So I trust them to make these Star Wars movies just as good as, if not even better.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people probably thought the same thing.
Do you know what? Maybe
we ended up disappointed.
Yeah. And do you know what? Maybe the thing is that Marvel were very lucky in that Stan Lee was on board and he was able to, you know, probably when they had a query, are we right in thinking this?
Yeah.
Is this right? They could go to Stan and go, are we right here? And he would go, sure, guys, you know, it's fine. Do you know,
Excelsior!
So, yeah, Excelsior! So, but, you know, they closed the door.
George Lucas was pushed aside, and now we've got it. Kathleen Kennedy, I'm going to make my own.
Yeah. Maybe that was the thing. You know, they didn't want the kind of the ghostly voice from the past telling them what they couldn't do.
But that's just bad business.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But like you say, if somebody then, you know, let's say those guys, the Marvel guys, come on, take it on board. You know, we've got the creative forces behind the Mandalorian on board as well.
Jon Favreau, yeah.
Favreau, yeah, and
Filoni.
You know, and Filoni, and you know, George is on advisory. Like, we could recapture this. I'm putting it out there right now. With it, Star Wars could be saved here.
Yeah, it could be. And to be honest with you, there have been rumours floating around this week. I mean, we've not delved into them ourselves because, well, personally, this is just me. There's been rumours floating around for years. Like Kathleen Kennedy's leaving, this, that, and the other, you know.
Sure.
So I'll believe it when I see it. But there have been rumours recently from all sorts of sources, I guess you could say, from different YouTubers, from articles online, suggesting that there are changes afoot. Now, that makes sense, and it does make sense, knowing that Kathleen Kennedy's contract is coming to an end this year. Now, it doesn't mean she's going to get fired. That's all. Something else would probably happen. She would probably be. She just.
That was just funny. I just went instantly to Waterworld when he said that.
Yeah. Kennedy might be moved on to Indiana Jones, and Favreau might be put onto Star Wars.
I mean, she's going to be on Indiana Jones anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get into that.
She's not going to spread herself too thin. So they're
Yeah,
probably going to just move the
sure.
chess pieces at the top. Like, okay, Queen Kennedy, you're in charge of this bit. And we're going to move Favreau up, and he's going to be king when it comes to Star Wars.
Yeah, maybe.
Possibly.
I don't know.
Possibly.
What do you think, Andrew?
We've got a bit of a problem here with, well, you know, you said changes are going to happen at Lucasfilm. That's inevitable just from a business point of view. You look at a graph of the intake of Star Wars, the money's going down. Whatever the reasons are, something's going to change. So I don't know what's going to change. Yeah, something's got to change. I'm not saying there's going to be personnel change, but something has to. It's got to make more money. So anyway, that aside, there's a problem we've got with and it's the thing Disney wanted to do with the sequel trilogy, is they didn't want us knowing what was going to happen. And from a marketing point of view, that is important. I think if they go Old Republic, which I want them to, I think fans are going to be very upset because they can't just recreate what's came before, the games, the novels, the graphic novels, whatever.
They
Can't just film them. So they're either going to take the characters like Darth Sion and Darth Nihilus and all these other people and put them in a new story, which is going to alienate fans and piss them off, or they just stay away from that. And I don't know what the right answer is.
Tricky one.
So
well, I mean,
I would like, I'd say to fans, don't be peddling wanting Knights of the Republic so much, because they may go into that era and for your sake ruin it. But I don't know.
I mean, that's probably going to be a video game, to be honest with you.
It sounds that way.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me personally, like, and I know this has been a thing with like Legends and stuff anyway. Like, for me personally, like, I don't know the stories. And yeah, I could go, like, even if they announced they were going to make them, I could go and research the stories. But you know what? I tend to try and avoid that stuff anyway, because I just want to experience it on the night.
Yeah.
But the people who are fans of it and know them backwards, I think they would be more than happy to see that, even if they just went, we're going to do it, with some changes here and there, but maybe not massive changes. If they turned around and said, we're just going to do it, like, those fans would be so buzzing to see it on screen. Everybody else, which is a much larger proportion of the community, would just be like, it's a brand new story to me, brilliant.
Yeah.
So I don't understand this thing about we need to. I don't know what you're saying, Andy, because you know it would probably dictate that something that's pre-existing would need to be changed. That's, you know, the law of averages. That's probably like 90 on 10. Then, you know, the way.
Well,
it's
I agree. I agree with what you're saying.
For me personally, I would be happy if they just did that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Because
well, I mean, when it comes to the Thrawn trilogy, which I've still not read in its entirety, it does look like Favreau and Filoni are probably going to use that as an outline for the upcoming Mandalorian season 3 and the Book of Boba Fett. Obviously, they're going to change certain characters. Ahsoka as well, the series, that's going to be part and parcel. It's that trilogy is probably going to be used as an outline of what they're going to do with different characters change here and there. So I mean, characters like Luke Skywalker, who we did see at the end of season 2, would inevitably have to return. Maybe not in a major role, but I can pretty much say you'd see him again.
Do you know what? Maybe all these Disney Plus series are the start of the Star Wars cinematic universe.
Yeah, but we already know this.
They already are, aren't they? They're already connecting up.
We talked about this. All the shows, Favreau said it's leading to one big cinematic event.
Yeah.
So all these shows.
When he says that, does he mean cinema screen event?
I'm assuming so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just going to be like a movie put on Disney Plus.
I mean, that is quite clever when you think about it from a marketing point of view. That's pretty clever, making everyone get obsessed with the television shows. It's like, how do we get people out of the front rooms into the theaters? That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. Yeah, this is the only way you can see the grand finale. It's two
if he
and a half hours long.
Yeah, if he pulls that off, Fair play.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yep.
I think that's the perfect place to leave it, boys.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Until next time.
Till next time. This has been a lot of fun. Excellent.
Absolutely.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. And we'll be back next week. We may or may not have a guest, but we'll let you know. We've got a couple of irons in the fire in that regard. So
We do. So, yeah, in May, we've got a big, won't name him yet, but big YouTuber. Star Wars
we've got a
YouTuber.
YouTube guest coming. I've still got a couple of irons in the fire with some Star Wars acting guests, and also an artist as well. So we shall keep you posted there. And yeah, cheers, guys. Stay safe, and may the force be with you. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Cheers.
Cheerio,
Bye-bye.
bye.